Everybody, it's Steph from the Hot Mood Podcast. This won't be a long vid. I was hoping to make this vid under more positive circumstances because I was pulling for Deion Sanders. It seemed like they were turning the corner this season, and they still could be doing so. Look, this is the first game back against Kansas State at home after their bye, after a stellar performance on the road against UCF. Right, and it was just kind of like, okay, well, before I fully get on board, I want to see how they come out of this bye and perform against Kansas State. And look, I mean, Kansas State was dominating this game for the most part. Okay, and it seemed like Colorado was starting to settle in, but unfortunately, though, this loss. This is going to be a rare loss that I'm not going to put on the team and on Deion Sanders. Actually, this game was littered with injuries. Number one, Colorado State, Kansas State. I mean, they got to a point in a part of the game where the players was dropping left and right after every play on the defensive side. It was getting ridiculous. But I mean, look, Colorado lost Jimmy Horn. Okay, they lost Travis Hunter. Those are two big critical weapons. And despite all that, they had a chance to win the game. Now, they battled back, and Shedeur was stellar, was absolutely stellar. And there's not gonna look. There's no debate with Shedeur Sanders going to the next level and being a top quarterback prospect. I can see, or at least foresee, that he has NFL talent, potential NFL talent. The kid's talented. All right, so there shouldn't be any talks of him dropping, regardless of how the season goes. I've seen enough from last year and this year that he's going to be he should be projected to be a top QB taken next year. So that's good for them. But too many injuries, right? I mean, too many injuries. It's just not enough talent. And I will credit the receivers that stepped up. Obviously Miller, Shepard stepped up big. Shepard had a big drop in his game. This is good. I hope this might. I don't know if it's gonna be a common theme, but he did redeem himself a couple plays later. But boy, do he be dropping wide open passes, man. That is gonna be a problem. He's talented, but damn, the drops just make you forget how talented he is, man. Really bad. But anyways, though, I'm not gonna put this loss on Colorado, on Deion Sanders, or anything like that. When you start losing key guys and you're hanging around, at some point the dam's gonna break. And look, no excuse for Shedeur at the end of the game to throw an interception. I mean, not interception, that pass. I believe it was a Shepard. He was looking for a penalty. I mean, come on now. You didn't need to go that deep. But Colorado's defense reared its ugly head again. And look, when Colorado took the lead, I mean, Kansas State just went right back down. That touchdown pass to Brown was devastating. That kid's going to NFL as well on Kansas State. And I mean, look, this was a spectacle tonight. You had Carmelo, you had KD, you saw Bradley Beal, you got a whole bunch of, DeAndre Jordan, Russell, but they had everybody there on the sideline. It's always a party for Colorado, and I thought that they would have made a spectacular comeback. And if they'd have won this game, it would have been really, really nice. It would have been if Colorado won this game with all the injuries, this would have been Deion Sanders' most impressive win as a head coach. And then I would have said Shedeur Sanders by far his most impressive game, because considering the circumstances, but that's not the case. Credit to Kansas State getting the job done. That's a good team. They're ranked for a reason. Their defense is leaky too, but Colorado's defense is just as leaky, if not worse. So overall, it was an entertaining game. It was a really good game. It would have been really nice to see Colorado pull this game out, but unfortunately they couldn't. And hopefully those injuries to Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn doesn't hold him back. It's not prolonged. But if they won this game, I would have definitely been a little more on board now and buying into Deion Sanders. And maybe I still could have that opinion, considering that I'm giving them a big pass because of the injuries that they have sustained. I mean, those two guys you just don't lose like that, especially both players. So yeah, unfortunate for Colorado and Deion Sanders. It would have been wonderful for them to get this win and get past that 4-win mark, because that's a huge mental hurdle, because you only got 4 wins last year. They won this game. It's like, okay, 5-1 on schedule, right, to do even better. that has to be put on pause for now. I still think this team is talented, but they still have the same deficiencies. I believe rushing the ball, they weren't that well again, right? I mean, you look negative 29 yards rushing the football, right? You're not going to win, and Colorado State, Kansas State, they gashed him for 185 rushing, man. You know what I'm saying? One player basically alone burned him on the yards and ate up a lot of clock. You're not going to win football games like that, man. So, not going to beat Colorado too much, but yeah, I mean, the problems, despite the injuries, was still very glaring. So, y'all let me know what y'all think about this game, man. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm out.